Still have not figured out the electrical issue, but I will. I found out that pump is working. The auxiliary pump is working. And what I'm looking at now is how I have the relay wired. So if I can't understand, I can isolate the pump and the fan to get them to both work. When I plug that fan in, it makes this relay buzz. So I'm gonna go start asking questions, take a picture, show some people, and we'll figure out that relay. Now what I'm doing is doing this lower mount, this rear lower mount, and this is the stock piece. And let's see, how do I want to do this? But I'll point up in here. So right there is the stock mount. This thing goes on here like that. And then the transmission bolts up to this thing. It keeps that from rocking up. You know, kind of an arc is what it does when you decelerate. Now, so what I want to do is take 2 or 3 points off of this transaxle and tie it into this thing. So there's a couple of options. I got a couple of bolts back here that I could go off of. And then back over to here. So there's a couple holes here. You know, and then there's some stuff here. So, not sure what it's going to look like yet. But I got to get some metal. You know, and some way to, some washers or something to hook into these bolt locations up here. And bend and tweak and weld. And get it to bolt up right here. So, that's what I'm up to next. I'm going to get some cardboard and just kind of start mocking up some stuff. And then we'll see where that leads me. Pretty easy, like from right here to here. Like if I take a strap of metal. You know, you can kind of see. You know, and that alone may be enough just to keep it from moving. So that'll probably be where I will start. I'll probably tie it in from here to here. And then once I get this established, I'll probably come over to here somewhere. Here's a hole right there I could even tie into. You know, I might use this hole here as a third point. And then come over to this part that I make. So, I don't know. I'm going to go with that for the moment. See what happens. Now here's the piece that I was showing. Now I'm making a new one right beside it. And this will join on, bolt together of course. Become one when it's welded. And give this the same bend. I'll square this off, and do some stuff here later. For now, roughing this in. And now what this one's going to do, this bracket, the use of this thing is basically straight on. This way. It's not really made to keep it from lifting per se, but it does. but it keeps it from going back and up. So when this is under the car like that, transmission's here, pushing back, and then this one here, this is such a long stretch, I don't want this to bend, and just make it a little more stable, so I'm going to twist this one and come off a different mount, kind of triangulation. So between this point, and this point over here, you're going to have 3 different spots, and it's going to make a nice, strong, sturdy mount. That's pretty simple. What I finally figured out, instead of going around the diff, which I had to do on that O2M over there for the yellow one, instead of going around the bolts on the diff, the straight shot is right here. Okay. And then my third triangulation spot there is going to be off this bolt. So this one will come up off of here, off this side, come down here just a tad, and then it will angle off up onto here, tie into that spot. See what I'm saying? Those will kind of tie together. And this part here is already done, from here to here. It's perfect. So one more spot to tie into it, and then it's a done deal. You know, that's only a couple hours. 1 hour and a half, 2 hours I've got in it so far. So there's what I came up with. Right there. So 3 different pieces. 3 different pieces. The main one here. This one here, of course, and then up here. And I don't know, they all have their purpose. You know, I put the rolled edge up on this one. It just strengthens it and keeps it from wanting to bend this way. And then in case it wanted to twist this way, that's what this one's here for. And other than that, just run it. And if it wants to start bending, we'll figure out why it's wanting to bend, and then I'll add another piece. But I believe that that's all I'm going to need right there. I think that's going to do it. Pretty simple. Pretty quick, pretty easy. Now I'm going to get my welder, and I'm going to tack a couple spots on this thing and then unbolt it. And then finish welding it up, grinding on it, because I'll round off these corners, like right in here. Make stuff round, grind it off, make it proper, and it'll look like a nice little piece. Paint it. And it'll be a bolt-in, nice little piece. There she is. Too hot to touch. Got done welding it up, and then I'll do some grinding and cleaning up and then painting. Should be alright. Used to over designing everything, so seems like I'm lacking on something, but I'm just gonna kind of try and trust my gut feeling. And like I say, if it starts bending somewhere, I'll take it off and fix it. If anything, you just have to start boxing this in, and then that'll add strength to it. So, I don't know. Leave it the way it is for now. Should be just fine. So there's the lower bracket, which turned out pretty well. Get that bolted up there. Then I figured out the problem with the wiring, where the ground problem was. It's in the switch, the resistance adding on the pump to the circuit. You know, the power load from that, grounding it. Anyways, it was going through this temperature switch. And the switch didn't have enough, you know, had too much resistance to ground the load from that positive wire, and would feed back into the relay and cause that thing to go back and forth buzzing. And so what I did is, because the fan, the ground, was tied into this side, of the see the black wire coming from the fan here? It's hard to see. There you go. That might be easier right there. But that was tied into the ground. That was getting its ground from right here. And then, so that meant it had to go through the switch into here. So essentially that fan is being switched 2 times, from the relay on the power side and from the fan on the, or from the ground on the switch side. Take the ground from the fan, move it over to this other side. Now the ground is right directly to the body. Anyways, that cured the problem. It was hard to explain for me. Hopefully. It wasn't easy to figure out, man. But I got all the grounds cleaned up on this thing now. The lights are brighter. And I found a lot of resistance right here, so I'm glad I cleaned that thing up. And I got the new clutch line, the hydraulic line, so that'll be put in there. Clutch will be done. All this stuff is being done. Got this stuff all prettied up here. Heater cord is pulled out of it. Oh, that line right there is just there to keep it from dripping on me. And then I think we may try and turn that throttle body 90 degrees. See if we can't keep this from getting up in the air so much. And what else? Once the clutch is bled, got to fix the stops, relocate the throttle pedal to where it's not standing up higher than the brake, because that was pretty awkward trying to drive it like that. One last thing I'm doing here is putting on these new guides. I had to build this up, sawed it down over the years, ground it off. So I took the welder, welded that up, ground it off, and now this thing will fit on there and fit in those tracks. Cut the clutch line in, clutch bled. Everything's done up here. Everything is done up here, I believe. And then just waiting on the heater core, and that thing will be here in the mail. Got the pedals lined up where I want them. Got the stops put in for the clutch. Gas pedal in a little better spot. And again, just waiting for the heater core, and we'll put the rest of that crap back in there, and then it's pretty much a runner. Oh shoot, what am I thinking? I still got to do wheel spacers, which I got, and Then we can set up the suspension. Extended lugs, wheel spacers, because we weren't able to get the ride height versus camber with those new coilovers. So widen out the stance 12 millimeters all the way around, and we'll get the ride height set up and the alignment done on it. Then it'll be a driver. Got the speedo cable in. Hopefully that works.